Hey Europe, my name is George. I'm CVP OGV of Faci in Greece for the term 24-25 and expansion. Sorry, I forgot it. It's my second sector. And here is my application for the regional president meetings for November 2024. So I chose the topic of LCP currents and boosting operations. And some heads up before this, like I believe that some things, let's say, you cannot really change the presidents on how they think. You can for sure impact, but after a year, some things are pretty settled. So I wanted to challenge that and give them another perspective, another reason to boost operations, not just their own term. So what we will see now, it's my session outlines, and I will try to explain as thoroughly as I can my flow for the session, so you can see like by reading at this, I think you will be able to understand why I want some bright lights and some reflective, emotional during the end. All the logistics needed are also mentioned here, like you will be able to see it. And the flow on very topics, but let's get right into it. So, a very typical opening for a nice general session, like get to know the facts, with some facts related, and have the appropriate tone, like to start setting the mood. And then it's something that I would want them maybe to think some things about what they have achieved so far. So I want to show some data regarding their LC terms so far, approvals, realizations, growth, completes, but not so much stay on the numbers, but try to focus on what they mean. I can give some examples from my GV regarding this because there was an approval and realization, and my GV personally changed my life. And like in storytelling, I always no, and I'm not going to focus here, but on how like it changed me and made me the person that I am today. So this is what I want to focus on, like on approval, on the impact behind it, and try to have a more challenging outlook, let's say, on how we view exchanges, because sometimes we are pretty set in stone. Yes, we talk about them, but how often do we challenge them? So I want to make them think about their achievements and have a point that these are just numbers, and I want to hear your opinion, not just mine. I know it, and have some series also from different entities, from different kinds of people, to have a more secular, like circle opinion, let's say, as a vibe to truly understand what's going on and how Europe, like, currently think. But yes, and of course, some settings and like all of this in a more challenging way. But why do I want to do this? To start talking about how and how we can, how and why we need to boost our performance. And the how is for like the topic. The delegates, not like it's here that they will understand some things. And I want to call back on their first months. Some of them have succeeded. Some of them had it easier than others. More red, let's say. Some of them had it easy and fucked up. Some of them, like maybe the rails is maybe at the point where they're about to close, but all of them, what do they have in common? They started somewhere. So I want to take them back to that fact and say that this is basically a lot of, like, how you start is a lot, like a lot of part, let's say, on that place your predecessors. So basically their successors like are going to start in the way that they are going to leave that LC. The more, for example, realizations each generation leaves to the other, the more successful the other one will be, because they will leave more exchanges, more EPs. They will have more confidence from the beginning, and they won't have to fight from the zero. So yes, I want to like take them back at it and basically tell them that it's their job in a way, that about their success, or like what they went through. In order to be better, they have to work for their successors and how this is going to be, and have it as a reminder, basically, because I know that a lot of them either had, again, are in a different state regarding this, and I think it would be a good reminder. Sorry, my nose is running, so yes. Um, and try to connect with them like before the actual activity that I will explain, with the reason that yes, some things have happened, but at the end of the day, now you have successors, or you will have successors, or something will have to happen. So you are the one, sadly or hopefully, responsible for how the next week will start. And I'm pretty sure not everyone wants to live it better. So this is how I kind of want to connect with them. And I want to have an activity here of OSI or CC. I don't know how you call it, I think OSI. Like a folded piece of paper that will look like a small notebook. This can be explained much better, but yes. And we imagine each current president having one. And I want for 15 minutes all of the LCPs, like the other LCPs that they have known, they have done in IR calls, they've met in the previous RPM, Euro Expo, or this RPM, to write based on what they know about the LC and the LCP, how the LC deserves to be, like some kind of like sugar cubes, but more about the else, more about, I've seen this, I really believe in you, I really believe that your exchanges can look like this, or more personal, who knows? It can be almost whatever, but more guided. And I want them for the LCP to like start reading them, reflecting on it. And on the very, very last page of that notebook, write the promise. So this promise will be what they will do actually, the remaining queue, and it's a promise to the successor that they will try, and you can like try their best and try actually to do something. And here you can see also the reasoning of why I want this activity, because they can interact, they can be motivated, reflective, emotional, and like, with a clear call to action, like it's going to be very clear. Uh, so right after, I want to remind them about the things that we had before. We talked about again success or how to start, but more in a callback. Here we will start getting emotional, and I want to make them promise that they will give their successor on the first day of their term this piece of paper, so they know what Europe thinks of them, what their successor needs of them, and how they believe in them. But in the vibe, like, I need you to promise. Hey, yes, like yes. I'm a bit cringy, but So yes, and see the potential that their LC have. And as a closing message, you can see on a video that I have also, like as the vibe I want to go, but I want to be more emotional. Like it's okay to have failed. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for everything. What matters now is, the future. In the future, you determine by your performance now. Thank you. That was my session, and see you in Serbia.